My mom convinced me that my dad abandoned me. The truth was only unveiled after his death. I, female, 23, grew up with a single mother who had chronic pain, financial issues, and was emotionally unstable. I was happy my earlier years, but around the age of 10 I started getting harassed in school, had to switch schools, and my relationship to my mom got significantly worse as I started experiencing really bad mental illness. Because of my very severe depression, I started losing a lot of hair and a lot of weight around the age of 12. My mom's side of the family is very small because both my grandparents had already passed away before I was born. My mom has 5 siblings, but they either live in other countries or are really shitty people. I had no siblings growing up. My mom had me at 39 years of age, so she probably couldn't get pregnant again anyway. My mom would seldomly speak of my dad, but when she did, she only spoke of him extremely negatively. And she almost only did it when it was to compare me to him. My dad spent 3 years in jail right before I was born, and the way that she told me this was by pointing out that I was becoming exactly like him. She had told me that she had tried desperately to keep him in my life so that I could have a dad, but that he wasn't interested. She had also told me that I had several half-siblings, and of these she spoke neither positively or negatively. When I was 16, my mom died of cancer and I moved out on my own. At this age, I had started suspecting that what my mom had said about my dad was false, as she was emotionally unstable and immature, clearly. I had a talk with my shitty aunt, and she told me that she never understood why my mom didn't want my dad in my life and that she never told her the reason. When my mom died, my aunt called my dad and told him the news. He had cried and said that he was very sad for my situation. At this point, I was sure that the truth of the situation had been altered by my mother. I was still unsure of what to do since my dad still didn't reach out to me and didn't seem to want to talk to me. I myself was going through way too much emotionally to reach out to him first. Fast forward to like a week ago. My half-brother, male, 42, all of a sudden sends me a Facebook message asking to meet up. I was pretty stoked about it because I expected him to have some answers about this situation. We met up the day after and he was extremely sweet. He expressed so much sadness and regret over how things turned out. When I asked him what happened between our dad and my mom, he had no answer. He told me that the contact between those two and the rest of the family just disappeared in an instant, and Dad never wanted to talk about it. I also found out that Dad was very well liked by all of his kids and would sacrifice everything in order to make them happy. My half-brother said that it wouldn't be like him to just give up on me, and that something must have happened. As we sat talking, we came to the conclusion that because of his past crime, which had to do with money, he was riddled with immense shame. Apparently he was never the same after that incident, and he was truly never happy again. My mom had told me that the reason they broke up was because he had accidentally left me in a hot car when I was a baby. The windows had to be smashed in order to save my life. Both me and my brother assumed that at that point he was probably so riddled with shame that he didn't feel like it was right to fight my mom over me. That I would be better off without him. The saddest part about all of this is that I'm never going to be able to ask him because he died last Friday of a heart attack. That was the reason my brother finally wanted to reach out to me. I feel a tremendous amount of anger towards my mom for doing what she did. Not only did she make sure I would grow up having no contact with my dad, she also made sure I had no contact with that side of the family, and she also made me believe that he didn't care about me. She also died when I was too young to really comprehend any of these things, so I can't talk to her about it. And I'm also never going to get to talk to my dad. My dad, who probably felt so much shame that he felt like he didn't have a right to be in my life. I don't know what to do now. I liked my brother and he basically invited me to be a part of that whole side of the family. I would like to join because that's all I ever wanted, but at the end of the day those people are just strangers. I feel sad, angry, and overwhelmed.